we have Professor Musa I. Abdullahi, the Dean of Pharmacy. A round of applause, please. We also have Professor Uwakwe Abugu, Dean, Faculty of Law. We have Professor Philip Oyadiran, Dean of Management Sciences. You're welcome, sir. We also have Director of Information and University Relations, Dr. Habib Yakub. Deputy Director of Verification under APU, Hajia Fatima Abdulaziz. Of course, I will not leave my friend out, Professor Lanre Aladeitan. He is the Director of Development Office, and our biggest masquerade today representing the Vice Chancellor, who unavoidably couldn't make it because of obviously very, very tight schedules. Please help me welcome his representative. A big fish, a big masquerade in his own right, Professor Wesley Daniel Nafanda, Director of Academic Planning. From here on, we're going to move with lightning speed. And so, help me welcome the Director, Development Office, Professor Lanre Aladeitan, to deliver the welcome address. Thank you. Please keep the applause going. Keep it going. God bless you.
Thank you. Distinguished Professor here present, distinguished directors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and our prospective candidates. It is indeed my singular privilege to welcome you to the maiden edition of the University of Abuja Sensitization event for prospective students into the university. This event became necessary in order to correct misconceptions and misunderstandings, and of course, some public perception as to the process taken in offering admission to prospective candidates. Distinguished professors and ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you. It won't be an unduly protracted event. It's going to be brief. We're going to be direct, straight to the point. It will be interactive, as we would take questions from you, would engage with you on any disturbing questions you have. We have assembled very eminent resource persons who will do justice to your question. On this note, I would once more want to say welcome and do have a wonderful time with us.
You want to make the applause bigger? Please make it bigger. That is a confirmation of what I told you. It won't be here forever. He says it's going to be, it won't be protracted. It's going to be brief and to the point. One more time, let's appreciate the Director, Development Office, Professor Lanre Aladeitan. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, our intended students, parents, I want to, at this point, welcome the Vice Chancellor, ably represented by Professor Wesley Daniel Nafanda, to the podium to deliver the Vice Chancellor's remarks. Please keep the applause going. Make it bigger. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Distinguished members of the university community, ladies and gentlemen, parents, and most importantly, our prospective students, good morning. It is an honor and privilege to stand before you this morning to represent the acting Vice Chancellor of Yakubu Gowon University, formerly known as University of Abuja, Professor Patricia Manko La, at this occasion. She's unavoidably absent because she's involved in another official function of the university currently. I was there briefly myself, and that's why I came slightly late, and I really want to apologize to the entire house. So on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and the entire management of the university, I want to welcome everyone here to this occasion. This is its first of its kind. And what the university is doing today is to clarify the process of entry into this university to prepare the prospective students, to guide them, and also to address all challenges and questions they will have. And here today, we have distinguished high members of the university community, the deans, the directors, and other senior staff of the university who are directly involved with the process of admission, and they are going to be making presentations to you. Pay close attention, listen, and any clarification you want, we're free to answer, to ask questions, and we'll try our best to provide answers. We want to assure you that the university is student-friendly institution. And we want to assure you that the process of our admission is very transparent. It will be based on merit, excellency, and transparency. We are also doing this to enlighten parents and prospective students so that they will understand the processes, so that they will do the right thing, and also so that they will not fall into wrong hands. Fraudsters who will deceive you, trying to collect your money or this. No, the University of Abuja do not sell admission. We don't collect money for admission. So anybody that tells you you should give him or her money, he or she is going to help you, is a lie. And the appropriate office or offices will discuss that later. I want to assure all parents and students that any student that meets the criteria for the course that he or she applied for will gain admission into this university based on merit. The Vice Chancellor has specifically asked me to pass this message to you. And as I said earlier, all the processes will be taken one after other. So please, where you are not clear, feel free to ask questions. It's our hope that at the end of this session or this program, we will be very clear about how to go about our post-UMT, how to maneuver on the portal, how to change if you have to change courses, how to do all the legal requirements that will ensure that we process our admission well. Once more, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor Professor Patricia Mankola accept our assurances and sincere commitment to the transparency of our admission process. And as I said, anybody that meets the criteria, we are looking forward to seeing you very soon as our students. Thank you and welcome to the occasion.
Quite assuring and reassuring. He says, any candidate, any clarification you want will be freely answered. He says our admission process is very transparent, based on merit and excellence. And this event is being put together so that you will not fall into wrong hands. Any student that merits the criteria will get admission based on merit. He says again, feel free to ask questions. And after this whole process, you will be very clear about how to go through the process of admission. I think Professor Nafanda, the able representative of our acting Vice Chancellor, deserves a resounding round of applause. Please. Thank you very much, sir. At this juncture, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, may I invite Hajia Sefia Ismail, a committee representative, to come and take us through understanding the admission process, the key components. A round of applause to bring her on. Thank you.
The Vice Chancellor, Professor Patricia Mankola, ably represented by the Director, Academic Planning Units, Professor Wesley Daniel Nafanda, the Director, Development Office, Lanre Ala Dayton, the Dean, Faculty of Law, Professor Wakwe Abugu, the Dean, Faculty of Management Sciences, Professor Philip Oyadiran, the Dean, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Professor Ismail Abdullahi, fellow prospective students, my dear prospective students, other staff here present, the Deputy Director Verification Office of the Director Academic Planning Unit, the Director Office of the University Information, the Information Unit and University Relations, Ms. Kucheli Yati Boala, the Secretary Admission Committee, all other staff here present. A very good morning to you, and I say welcome to this maiden edition of this program. The reason, of course, before I go into why I am here, what I'm here to talk about, which is understanding the admission process, the key components, I will like to briefly state the reason why we are having this engagement. Over the years, we noticed that students or applicants do not have the requisite information regarding the admission process, regarding the process of application. And because they do not know, it leads to losing the, because there are things that they are supposed to do that they do not do because they do not know. So we are inviting you here to educate you on doing the proper thing as regards the application process. Don't just, I keep hearing, they said, they said, they said. And if I ask who said, nobody can tell me. Most of the information in the past is purely based on rumor and hearsay. And because applicants are desperate, the moment they get an information from somebody, they will say, oh, they said we should do this. And they will just rush blindly to do it. So, first of all, the admission process, the key components of the admission process is one, first of all, you have to sit and pass the university tertiary matriculation examination conducted by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, which is JAMB. For those of you that are applying through the UTME. And of course, the other category, we have two types of applicants. We have the UTME applicants that are usually the fresh secondary school graduates. And then, of course, we have the direct entry applicants who have gone ahead to obtain A-levels in other programs that are not degrees. For instance, people that maybe attended colleges of education and obtain an NCE, that's the National Certificate of what? Education, and they have the desire to come into the university and obtain a degree, their application process is not the same as those that are applying with their UTME. Those ones have to, first of all, pick up the application form through the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board. We do not, the university does not sell the direct entry form for those that are interested in applying through direct entry. You get those forms through JAMB. And just the way they open the window for you to register and apply to write JAMB examinations, there's also a time frame for people who want to apply, for them to be allowed to purchase the form through JAMB. Because sometimes people will just show up and say, I'm done with my NCE, I want to come here and do a degree, show me the office where I can get a form. And I'll say, no, you have to get that form through JAMB. And if the sales of forms are closed, you have to wait until the next year. So I think you also need to be very, very active in looking out for information from the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board. The university cannot single-handedly, does not single-handedly offer you admission. There's a handshake between the university and the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board before you can be admitted. Now, that is about the initial process of getting either your JAMB, your direct entry form, or your JAMB result. Now, every university has a minimum cutoff point. And the University of Abuja minimum cutoff point has been 180 over the years. However, 180, do not expect that 180 will allow you to be admitted to study law or to be admitted to study medicine or all of these regulated courses. You have to have very high scores. In fact, there will be, the other prerequisites will be communicated to you. You will see it. It will be communicated, and based on the cutoff points of the various faculties, you are to now see whether you have met up with the minimum score of any particular faculty. And if you do not meet up, please, you should quickly visit the JAMB portal and change your program. If, for instance, you wanted to study medicine, as at the time you purchased your JAM form and you were filling it, and when the result comes out, you are expecting to get maybe 290 or 300, and you end up with a score like 180, I think you should quietly, respectfully go through the JAM CBT centers, not business centers, CBT centers. CBT centers are those centers where you sit for your JAM CBT examination. You look for the one closest to you. You do not have to travel all the way to Buari to get these things done. You go to any CBT center, and if it is something that, but besides, any CBT center will be able to change your program. Just tell them you want to change program from so course to so course. In fact, before I move forward, I want to believe that all of you seated here have chosen University of Abuja as your first choice. If you know you have not selected University of Abuja as your first choice, please put up your hand. Okay, because for anyone who does not select the university as a first choice, the person does not have any business being here, because we attend to only those candidates that chose the university as their first choice. We cannot be supplements. We have to be your first choice before we can attend to you. Okay, so aside from the JAM score, O-level. O-level, what is O-level? That is your WAEC, the West African Examinations Council, SSCE, the Senior School Certificate Exams that you take at the end of your secondary education, or the NECO, or NAPTEB. These are the O-level, or the GCE, the external. These are the O-levels that are accepted in this university. Now, the requirement is that you are expected to obtain 5 credits. 5 credits in not more than 2 sittings. 5 credits in not more than 2 sittings, including mathematics and English. If you have a pass in either maths or English, even if you are applying to study BA sleeping, if there is any course like that, we cannot admit you. You must have credit in mathematics and English. And we do not allow awaiting results. We cannot admit you based on, let me write an undertaking that I will bring the result next year. No. Even if you score 400, that's the highest score in JAM, right? If you score 400 in JAM and you have A in your O-level, but you end up having a D in either mathematics or English, the University of Abuja will not admit you. So please, as you are seated here, most of you have seen your WAEC results. If you know that you have a pass in either maths or English, just know that you are out of this race automatically. It is not the fault of the university. These are rules guiding the application process, which we must all respect. Or do you want us to produce doctors that when you go to the hospital, they will not be able to treat you well? Do you want that? Aha. So we have to meet up with the requirement at every step of the way. Don't think I know this person, or this person is my friend, or my auntie is here. Or no, it doesn't work. Rules are rules. And so for you to be able to enjoy this environment, we have to ensure that we follow the laid down procedure. Is that clear? Good. Okay. I said you have to obtain 5 credits, including mathematics and English, in not more than 2 sittings. Now, let me also clarify. Number 3, for you to be eligible for admission, you must upload your O-levels on the JAM portal. You must upload your O-levels on the JAM portal. So for those of you whose results just were released a week or so earlier, please visit any CBT center and make sure that your results are, and now you have the English. You can combine the two. Now, if you are combining, you are not taking the whole of this result and the whole of this result and uploading. No. You pick out your best subjects. If result A, the first result, let me use first. If your first result, you have an A in mathematics, and then the second one, you have an A in English. Please, it's just that there is no maths or English. So pick your best grades. It is very important. Pick your best grades from the 2 results, because if you are uploading on the JAM portal, there's a window for you to enter your WAEC number, right? So as you are, it doesn't matter. If you are picking WAEC, you upload English, enter the exam number. The next result, you pick NECO, enter the exam number. The other one, do you understand? Is this clear, or do you want me to repeat? Are we clear? Good. So, that is what? Number 3, you have to upload your O-level. And then number 4, very important. For those of you that are not up to 16 years, if you know that you will not be 16 by September this year, you are out of this race automatically. Yes, you must be 16. That is a JAM directive. However, if you are an exceptional student, what do I mean by exceptional? You have 80% in JAM, and you have 80% in O-levels, and there will be another level of scrutiny, and you have 80% all through, and you are less than 16, then you are eligible. Only for exceptional candidates. But if you do not make up to 80%, what score will give you 80% in JAM? Who can tell me? 3 what? 320. So if you have 320, they said 320 is 80%. I said and above. Oh, it's okay if you can bring 100%. But it is not just the JAM results. If you have that 80%, you also need to get the 80% in WAEC. The 5 credits, the 5 A's. You need to get the 80%, okay? There as well, before you can be qualified as an exceptional student. But if you do not have up to that, and you are less than 16, please just respect yourself and wait until you are 16. Because the JAM portal will not even be able to admit you. It will automatically throw you out. Is that clear? Again, you must also know your subject combination. I'm happy that some of the deans of faculties are here, and they are going to educate you on the correct subject combinations. Some of you, what you do, because you want to pass JAM, and because you know that you are very good in certain subjects, you will just select those subjects that you are good in, and then you sit for those subjects in your JAM examinations just to boost your score. Meanwhile, the subjects are not the requirements for the course you are applying to study. For example, somebody wants to study computer science, and then instead of writing mathematics, English, physics, chemistry, for instance, But there are instances that one of the subjects is either this or this. The dean will educate you more. Okay? Now, if you want to study computer science, it is mandatory for you to write mathematics in your JAMB. But some of you will not write mathematics. You will write physics, chemistry, biology, and English because you are good in biology. You will drop mathematics and you don't like mathematics. Like somebody earlier pointed out, you don't like mathematics. So you drop the mathematics and then you pick something else. And then you now show up waiting and then you score 300. Oh, I have passed JAMB. Waiting to get admission to study computer science. It is not possible because you do not even meet up with the basic requirement, which is what? The subject combination. So at this point, you have already written your JAMB. Once you are educated on the right combination, just go back, look at your result, and then look at the course that suits your combination and quietly move to that course. You can also do that. Of course, I told you, you do that at the what? CBT Center on your JAMB portal. Is that clear? Good. So it is very important for you to have the right subject combination for UTME and O-level for you to be able to study. Some apply to study law with a pass in literature. It's not possible. You must have literature, at least a credit in literature before you can go for a course like law. I hope this is clear. Good. So the deans will further educate you on the correct subject combination. Now, finally, you should cultivate the habit of checking your portal regularly. You have to cultivate the habit of checking your portal, especially some of you will come and say, I cannot remember the email address I use for my JAMB, or the phone number, I have misplaced that phone, I don't have access to my portal. That shows that you are already an unserious person. And I hope you know that in this university, we award degrees based on character and learning. So if you come here and you show us some level of unseriousness, you are already telling us that you are not ready to be here. Because here, we are serious-minded people, and we want to admit serious students. Now, finally, and very important as well, we hope to be able to admit as many of you as possible. However, you also know that, if you don't know, I'm telling you, we have a limitation of the number of students that we are to admit by program. If 3,000 students apply to study medicine, and we can only admit 200, even if 1,000 meet up with all the requirements, we are handicapped. We won't be able to admit all of you. Is that clear? So don't say we met with all the requirements, they did not admit us. We have what we call what? Quota. And once our quota is filled up, there is no way we can admit you. For a university that is to admit just a little above 8,000 students, and already we have more than 22,000 students applying, you know it is not possible to admit everybody, right? So let us pray lucky few that will have the privilege to come into this institution. And I also want to state clearly that attending this program does not in any way guarantee your admission. Please don't go with that wrong notion that because you are here, automatically you will get admitted. Please. We have to state this disclaimer that the University of Abuja called you here to educate you on the process, to enhance your chances of being admitted. It is not guaranteeing any of you admission. Thank you very much.
Please, can we appreciate Hajia Sefia a smile. I saw some of you taking down notes. I guess the others that didn't take notes, you have magnetic brains. So we just want to assume that that is what the case is why you didn't take down notes. We're going to make progress. We're moving on in the program.